Welcome to Crosstalk, episode 12.
We're ahead of the game this time.
New year, we're ahead of the schedule. We have the number.
New efficiencies.
So, Brad.
Yes.
This is the first Crosstalk of the year.
Yes.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. The only thing that was kind of rough about it is we were all a little bit under the weather. Basically Christmas Day until kind of December 31st. So but from what everybody around here was telling me, apparently everybody had a kick of the flu strain in some capacity that week. So, but yeah, we've been doing well, kind of since the new year. The only thing that's really messed up is my sleep schedule. I have fallen asleep for like a half hour to an hour after dinner, like every night since we went back to school.
Yeah, there's worse things to happen.
Yeah. It makes going to bed at night a little tough right now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Overall, things are swell. Loving being back in a routine.
Yes.
Being back in a routine for a couple of weeks now has just been awesome. I really feel like I've got a good work rhythm going on for the day, and yeah, it's just been well. I would say
Good.
End of the year, Christmas Eve service was great, and then getting into the new year, and now a week into our We Believe series through the Apostles' Creed. It's just, I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Yeah. So, would you say you had the seasonal squirts?
No.
That's good.
No, I had a little bit of upset tummy, and then it was mostly like post-nasal respiratory stuff.
Okay.
I've told several of our people this. I woke up the Christmas morning, or the Sunday after Christmas, the morning of December 28th at like 4:30. I was, coughing and hacking, and I wasn't feeling very good, but I was bound and determined to go to church with my parents because I wanted to go with them to their church, and I didn't have to preach. We get to church. I don't see their pastor there. I'm like, is John coming? Oh, he and Kyla are sick. They called out. Well, who's preaching? Nobody. We were just gonna, pray and sing some hymns, and we weren't able to schedule anybody this morning. So me, living off of like a 24-hour, congestant that I just took, and some tea, I said, well, I'm a preacher. I guess I'll preach. So I pulled out the parable of the seeds in the soils, and I ended up preaching. Got through that just fine, and then I was pretty much passed out on a lunch table when we went out to eat after church. So
Did you guys have Chinese or Mexican?
it was American food. Yeah, we went to a place in Coolville, Ohio.
Coolville.
Yeah, off of State Route 7.
I guarantee Adam has never been to Coolville because he's not cool.
Oh, he's been there plenty of times. He's just never stayed there because he's not cool.
Boom roasted Adam.
Boom roasted Adam Will. Hey, but I will say, Adam Will, if you need to talk to somebody about church revitalization and kind of life and ministry in Appalachia, Adam Will, a pastor who mentored me and got me to come all the way out here to Indiana in the first place, you should check out his content. He's got a Substack that he does called The Pastor's Porch.
What's Substack? For the people that don't know.
Basically, like a big digital network of blogs and articles and stuff that people write without publishers. But they're like self-published. But he's got some really good content out there. He's a pretty good writer. So I'll try to see if we can drop the link in here and make sure that you can access some of his stuff.
Like this video if you want Adam Will to come be a guest on this podcast.
I will like it for all of you if you want Adam Will to come be a guest on this podcast.
I would like to say that Adam Will is teaching me to be more awful than I already was.
Pretty much. At the same time, he also encourages holiness and betterment and all of these other things. So I'm really confused on what to make of him. But he's an awesome guy.
I think he gives you a whole lot more encouragement than he gives me. He just gives me awful things to put in my mind.
Yeah, it's okay. We can rebuke him publicly on here for that. So
I kind of bring it on myself, though. I invite the awfulness. I think we just revel in some of the awfulness, the three of us.
Yeah, it's just a little stewing pot of
It's how we cope.
torturing each other. We cope by torturing each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So my Christmas was good.
Yeah.
Bought a lot of stuff for my saltwater tank. My
Mhm.
saltwater tank is almost done. You're watching this on a Friday, but today is Wednesday when we're recording it. On Tuesday evening, I went to my friend's house and I got some more rocks and some coral and a big ol' Pithos crab.
Yeah, I saw the picture of the crab you sent me
Like-
last night. He's got some beef to him.
Body wise, I mean,
Those claws were pretty defined in the picture.
Oh.
You should put the picture here.
yeah, I'll put a picture of the crab up. They're not great pictures because he doesn't like his picture taken, and the water's kind of cloudy with all the sand he's kicking up because he buries himself in the sand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He prefers to hide in the sand. In fact, when we were looking for him last night, my friend has a big, long, and really shallow tank, maybe only 10 inches deep at most.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had a big, long pair of like tweezers for moving and manipulating stuff. And he was just like gently just scraping through all the sand on the bottom of the tank. And we started in like the front right corner of the tank, slowly but surely, all 40, 50 gallons of water, slowly just skating it around. And finally we get to the corner. He's like, he might just be dead. I'm like, okay, no big deal. And then I looked away for a second because the cat walked across. I was saying hi to the cat, and I look up. He's like, here it is. And the crab's like this big. I was like, I didn't think it was that big. Is he gonna eat? Is he gonna bother my fish? He's like, no, he'll be fine. And
Time will tell.
I mean, he's all alone in the tank right now. I've not
Okay.
moved the fish over.
Gotcha.
I've got some chemistry to do still.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I got a bunch of fish stuff, and that's really all I can say about Christmas.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
good.
Bellamy's ripping doors off of
Yeah,
kitchen sets and stuff.
yeah. My son is the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. Being a boy, as he should be, which is great.
I got Abby a massage for her birthday.
Nice.
I'm not giving it. She's going somewhere to have it done.
Yeah. I get told when I massage Kylie, because, I've worked with my hands my whole life. I'm a mechanic, and a cattleman and all of these other things. I get told that I massage her like I'm trying to manipulate a 2x4. So I have to exercise quite a lot of restraint when I massage. I also write super hard. I don't know if you've seen how I write like with a pencil, but the graphite is super dark and it's like depressed on a page because I push down so hard when I write. Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. So anyhow.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, we're in a new series. We believe. We are confessing, creed-driven, belief-driven people. And I had a lot of fun in the first week. You know what's really interesting?
What's interesting?
Preaching through biblical topical sermons, it's very hard. Typically, I'm an expository, find a Bible passage, really get to know that passage, preach on the passage for all the context and everything that it is. And I've gotten very used to that and what the workload is for that. Something like the Apostles' Creed is incredibly difficult because it's the basic beliefs of the Christian faith. Mm-hmm. But basically what I had to do last week, I went through 2 systematic theology books, and the NIV Bible website has a really good article called The Biblical Basis for the Apostles' Creed, so that gave me some outline resources to kind of pull all this together and then figure out how to communicate it in the context of cross-community church. But basically, I'm looking at God the Father Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth. I did this for 1 week. How do I get God the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, into a 30-minute window that's useful for the people who are listening?
Well, you're in luck because I have a quiz for you in a little bit that's all about God.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how I'll do with that. I don't know very much.
It's going to be great.
I'm trusting that it will be. But part of the fun in all of this research is, you're taking all of these truths and all of these emphases, and you're figuring out what you really want to focus on, so it can be as useful as it can be. When I come to the pulpit and deliver it to our people. So it's just been a great exercise. The change of pace has been more fun than I thought it would be. I thought it would be exhausting, but exploring God's word is just so much fun. It's so joyful that I'm really enjoying this type of gear that
Good.
we're in right now.
I wrote my first topical lessons sermon the last day and a half on anxiety and highlighting 3 characters who, not plain and simply just anxiety, but a combination of anxiety and doubt and some fear all wrapped up in the stories of Esther, Joshua, and Moses.
Yes.
And use those 3 to kind of illustrate how, like we talk about anxiety and, blah, 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 blah. And, hey, there's these 3 characters and here's like kind of like the situations or the moments or like the passages where we can see it most clearly in their lives. Esther is fearful and I'm sure she had some anxiety about approaching the throne of the king.
Oh, for sure.
Like, hey,
if he felt like it, he could have put her on a pike.
Right. Yeah. Right. Luckily, she comes before him and, he extends the scepter and she touches it and, hey, like more or less, hey, what do you want? I'll give you anything, even half the kingdom. I read, according to the commentary, though, that the king probably said that, but he doesn't actually really mean it. But it was a figure of speech at the time to say, I'll give you basically anything you want. Anyway.
Gotcha.
She's like, well, if it pleases the king and I'm found blah, blah, blah in his favor, will you and Haman come to a banquet I prepared for you? And so they come to dinner that night and she chickens out. He's like, so what do you want to ask me? And she's like, can you come back tomorrow for dinner? And then, right before that dinner happens that second night, Haman accidentally, unwittingly plans this whole like parade for Mordecai, and it makes him really mad. And then, finally she gets the gall to finally tell the king, like, hey, all my people are going to die. And it would have been one thing if you had sold all of us into slavery, but instead you've sold us to our death and destruction. And that's an issue. Well, who did that? Him. And, the king leaves and gets angry and comes back. And then like Haman is like weeping and begging for mercy, like laying on her. And she's like, ew, get off me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, are you going to like defile my wife too? Like, get out of here.
Oh, the king.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's that. It's a little more of a stretch kind of with Joshua where Moses dies and the king is like, sorry, not the king. The Lord is like, hey, you're gonna go take Canaan,
mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have to go through Jericho and get ready to go, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And the Lord's like, I'll be with you and I'll never forsake you, that whole thing.
Right.
That's the really, really fast version.
Mm-hmm.
It all works out. And then Moses is a much more direct conversation with God. God's like in the burning bush and he's like, hey, you're going to go free my people. Like, I've heard their weeping and moaning and cries in Egypt. Go free my people. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I'm not good at talking. Okay, well, like I made your mouth, so like I think you can do it, bud.
Right.
And oh no, I can't do it, God, no. And it says in the scripture, depending on the translation, more or less, God gets very angry or gets very exasperating. Like I can kind of just imagine God in the bush just kind of being like, fine. Like just like at the end of his rope with Moses, like, dude,
just go.
Just do it. Fine. Hey,
I will be with you.
Hey,
just go.
Conveniently, I sent your brother to come see you anyway. your brother can talk, and you are going to stand in my place and tell him what to say.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Isn't it incredible that the guy who's kind of the chief prophet of the Old Testament was a murderer with a speech impediment?
mm-hmm.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So, no, I what I really like is you're going into these Old Testament characters in trying to dig into their world so definitely with your students and making that more familiar with him. I think that that's just a really neat thing that you're doing. So,
And they have some familiarity with Joshua and Esther because we covered that in our VeggieTale series back in the winter.
Yeah.
They're not, they might be familiar with Moses because I feel like Moses is a very, like, a lot of people know about Moses. But anyway.
Sure. Well, good. That's the teaching stuff that's coming up. This week, we're going to, in the We Believe series, we're going to be looking at Christ the Son. And we're taking Jesus, and I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 weeks in those lines, but we're looking at the sonship of Jesus this week as a son of God. And I'm just really looking forward to that. So, what else we got going on? We've got the women's ministry event.
Is coming
Monday
up on the 19th.
Monday at 7.
Yep.
The day before, Sunday the 18th, if you're a member, if you're able to be here, come and participate in the annual meeting where we go over the annual reports and we vote on this year's upcoming budget. And we thank our amazing treasurer, Ben Bloom, for always doing so much work to make sure that this is really comprehensive and well thought out as we present these things every year. So yay, Ben. You're awesome.
Go Ben.
Go Ben. Yes.
Vote for Pedro.
You're fired. I'm just kidding. Adam always used to say that to me for a myriad of reasons. I used to work for him when in his non-ministry vocational job with title and property research stuff, and I would say something silly, and he would always tell me I was fired. So it's a generational curse of that, I guess, passing on to conversations that I have with a lot of people, actually. I think I've said this to Cody Arns before, too.
He deserved it.
Yeah. He's a good guy. We love Cody.
If you want Cody to be on the podcast, comment Bucky Barnes in the comments below.
Bucky Barnes. Yes. What else do we have? I'm not sure this is going to be a terribly...
I have a quiz for you.
Oh, yeah. I knew we were forgetting something. Quiz.
I love spam calls when they leave me silly messages. Okay, so we're not going to do all of them, but here on my phone, I have 16 names for God. So I'm going to tell you the name, and you're going to tell me what it means.
Oh, okay.
We won't do all 16, but we'll do the ones that you should probably know. The ones that at least that stick out to me that I think I know and that sound familiar.
Okay. I think we should do all 16.
Okay.
So go ahead and start, and we'll see what happens.
Yahweh.
Is that one God Almighty?
No.
God the Creator?
No.
Lord of all? I can't remember. Which one is that one?
So Yahweh is the self-existent one, and it means I am who I am.
Okay. Yeah, the I am piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elohim.
Elohim is Lord, isn't it? Or just God?
Elohim is the
Phrasing.
mighty creator.
The mighty creator.
Elohim is the first name of God mentioned in the Bible, Genesis 1:1. It means God in the plural form, highlighting power, majesty, and creator of the universe.
Okay. All right. So that one's the creator one. Elohim.
Okay, so you're 0 for 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
El Shaddai.
I just looked at that this morning and I can't remember it. So Elohim was
The mighty creator.
the mighty creator. El Shaddai. I can't remember it. I read it this morning and it's not coming to me.
It means Lord God Almighty or the all-sufficient one.
The all-sufficient one. Okay.
Coming from Genesis 17:1 when he
Yeah.
reaffirms the covenant with Abraham.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here's a couple that I did not know.
Okay.
I looked at this yesterday for my lesson because I name a bunch of names of God
In your lesson?
in my lesson.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear my lesson, you'll understand. If you don't hear my lesson, you're going to have no idea what I'm getting at. Okay. El Elyon. I can spell it for you. L,
Uh-huh.
E-L, and then E-L-Y-O-N.
Elyon? I don't know that one.
The Most High God, referring to omnipotence, holiness, and gracious nature.
Okay. Yeah.
As seen in Deuteronomy 26:19.
Yeah. I haven't had Hebrew class for like 6 or 7 years either.
I never had Hebrew class.
Yeah. I also got a B- and a C+ in both semesters. So this
Fair
is
enough.
Super hard language.
El Olam,
No, I don't know that one.
the everlasting God,
Yep.
which is in Genesis 21:33. Abraham calls on the Lord as El Olam.
Okay.
It's a declaration of eternal and unchanging nature of God.
You know, this is kind of going how my Hebrew quizzes typically went, like 2 for 11. So, okay.
I think this is pronounced Kana or Quana.
Kana.
Kana. Qanna.
Quana, I think. Okay. What's that one?
Jealous. It's
Jealous God. Okay. Yep.
You should know the next couple because there's a sermon series on these at College Park.
Right.
Okay. Not this one, but the next couple will be. Adonai.
This is the one because the Jews don't say Yahweh. They won't say the divine name out loud. So they would often say Adonai. And
they get so there's actually a former player of the Colts whose birth name is Adonai, and there are some people in the sports media world that won't call him Adonai. They'll call him AD because they also don't want to say Adonai.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Yeah.
they're not talking about God, they're talking about a person, and
Right.
they don't believe that anyway.
Yeah, Adonai would be. I think in the English Bibles, that one is typically how you would read God, but not Lord. So in the Old Testament, you'll see Lord in all capital letters, which is Yahweh. But I think this is the one that translates to God.
So according to this website, it says the Lord and Master.
Lord and Master, yep.
It's used when acknowledging God's authority and dominion. This
Yes.
name signifies submission and reverence to God's rule over all.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's a really good definition for it.
Here is one of my favorite names of God, and I refer to this every once in a while. Jehovah Jireh.
God the provider.
Yes. Do you remember bonus question, do you remember who gave this sermon?
Bishop Todd Fetters.
Yes. Shout out to Bishop Todd.
We're one of our favorite people. Yeah.
Jehovah Rapha.
I was reading a Name and Titles book a couple weeks ago, and it's escaping me. Oh, my goodness. Do you know how often preachers forget what they preach and what they've studied? Because we have to, empty our brain from week to week of what we've picked up and put down. Yeah, which one's Rapha?
The Lord who heals.
The Lord who heals. That's right.
Jehovah Nissi.
That one I'm not as familiar with.
The Lord is my banner, which
banner.
symbolizes protection, guidance, and victory.
Mm-hmm.
Jehovah Shalom.
The God of peace.
Yes. You've got, 2 right so far?
I told you it's a typical Hebrew quiz. It's like 2 for 11.
Okay. I've never heard of this one until I read this one. Jehovah Sidkenu.
Spell it.
Tsidkenu.
Sikenu. No, I'm not familiar with that one.
The Lord our righteousness.
The Lord our righteousness. Sidkenu.
From Jeremiah 23:6.
Wow. Yeah. That's diving in deep right there. This is a tough quiz, man. You would make freshmen at Huntington University cry.
I only know a couple of these.
Right.
But this is the fun part. I look up things and I just try to make you look bad.
No, that's good. Yeah. People need to realize how small and fallible I am. It's okay.
Jehovah Shammah.
Shema. Jehovah Shema. Shema. I don't know why I'm thinking Passover, but I don't think that's right. What is Shema?
The Lord is there, so God is near, dwelling among his people and never abandoning them.
Okay.
From Ezekiel 48.
Okay.
Okay, you got 3 more. Jehovah Ra.
Oh, come on, Hebrew vocabulary. John Noble. Dr. John Noble, I sincerely apologize for how hideous I have performed on this quiz. I hope you will forgive me. I hope the Lord is blessing and doing very well and favorably to you as you continue to teach and instruct students. I'm thankful for your influence in my life beyond my Hebrew incompetencies. Ra, Jehovah Ra. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And Rapha was the God who heals.
Yes.
I don't know.
The Lord is my shepherd.
The Lord is my shepherd. Wow.
Psalm 23.
Yep.
Okay, 2 more. Jehovah Mekodishkem.
Spell it.
Mekoddishkem.
I don't know.
The Lord who sanctifies you.
Ooh.
Found in Exodus 31.
Okay.
Holiness comes from the Lord.
Wow.
Okay, final one. Jehovah Sabaoth.
Sabaoth. So this word is actually in "A Mighty Fortress is Our God." Lord Sabaoth proclaim something still the same. On earth there is no equal, I think is that verse. Sabaoth. Oh, I've talked to Matt Han about this within the last couple of years. What does it mean?
The Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts. Oh,
so
my goodness.
It signifies God's sovereignty over all armies.
Yes.
It also highlights his role as a warrior who fights for his people, Israel, and against divine forces.
Yes.
This is the name David uses in 1 Samuel 17:45 when he said, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I have come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied."
Yeah. Yeah, when he stands up against Goliath. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Whew. Was that 2 for 16?
2 for 16, I think.
I think I would have gotten 3.
Wowzers. Yeah, that is a terribly beefy quiz. That's a rough one. That's hard.
I didn't feel like I had the knowledge to explain it correctly, but would you like to give your best Jason Carter impression of explaining Yahweh to everyone who may not understand the big significance and how cool and all that is?
Oh my. I don't know if I could do that without preparing ahead of time. As far as the technical dig in of that, I think I would have to research it to prepare and communicate.
I have
properly.
one cool fact or interesting thing about Yahweh
that
I
go
can
ahead.
say. So correct me if I'm wrong. When they wrote Yahweh in Hebrew, it's all consonants, correct?
Yes. Yod het vav het.
And so the purpose of that is that you can say it in one breath, or it's kind of like an exhale.
Yahweh is how is the Hebrew.
He made it. Our former the pastor at our last church made a big, huge thing out of explaining Yahweh and going into all the nitty gritty of it. And I always thought that was so cool that it's kind of like an exhale, Yahweh. There's no vowels. You see it written in your Bible.
And he breathes life into people too. I mean, there's a big theological significance of that.
That was part of it too.
Yeah.
Is that God breathed out and created life,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can breathe out Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the creation.
Yeah,
points back to the Lord.
We only put vowels in there to help people pronounce it in the Bible, but like if we wrote it how it's supposed to be written, it should just be
the Masoretic text. I believe it was a Masoretic text. Put in vowel symbols. In it was around the time I think the Persians were ruling. Dr. Noble, don't hold me to that. I need to go back and look at the book that I have downstairs. If I would have known we were going to talk about Hebrew today, I would have brought my red book with me. But I believe that's how it went, because the language was starting to get lost a little bit, so they put down the vowel markings to help with that. But there are no vowels in the original Hebrew writings. They were added later. There were copies that were added later with vowels. All the Hebrew writing in ancient Hebrew is consonants only. Yep. So
the more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, and it's a really interesting language. Everything is right to left instead of left to right.
That was fun. When I was making the slide deck designs for, what was that sermon series called?
Names and Titles of God.
It had a more like tighter, slick name than that, I feel like.
I can't remember.
Anyway, we had to figure out how to get a Hebrew font onto my computer and figure out how to type with it, because I literally typed out.
Wow.
It took you, me, and Jason all fiddling around with my computer trying to properly and correctly write out the names in Hebrew, and having to think backwards, typing it and getting it all arranged. That was like a whole 20-minute thing.
Apple does have a Hebrew keyboard that you can use. I have it on my phone.
Well, the problem is that we needed the font too.
Yeah. Which was harder to come up with.
In the design software. Like, I could type Hebrew on my phone right now. I can't. I don't know how. But the problem was getting a font that would correctly translate what we were writing into the correct symbols.
Right. Yeah. It was an adventure into the hoops of technology and language. A dead ancient language, for sure. So, yeah. Welcome to Hebrew class today, Crosstalk, episode 12. Who would have known?
Can you write 12 in Hebrew for us up there?
I can't remember. So Hebrew is interesting with numbers. The numbers are basically consonants that are grouped together.
Okay.
For certain things, but I can't remember exactly what they are. That was a more brief unit that we did. But something interesting about the Hebrew alphabet, it's very similar to the Greek alphabet, and then which is also very similar to the English alphabet. So to see how, in my mind, how little things changed over the years was kind of nuts on how language worked together in those fashions. Some ancient Middle Eastern Semitic language, their alphabet of their consonant setup is very similar to, the Greek, which is what we get a ton of the English language from, was Greek and Latin. So just to see how linguistics has worked over the last 4,000 to 6,000 years is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, the more you know. And to that I say shalom. Peace to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this week. May the Lord bless and keep you until we see you again.